to Mittens News, your best and most important news of the week. Today, we're going to talk about a very important and concerning topic, Hong Kong! Hong Kong is actually one of the most powerful influencers in China's economy, and it's actually one of the most visited countries in the world. But Hong Kong actually back in history was just a small fishing market. The location of Hong Kong, adjacent to the coast, is not close to the system of main rivers of China. Through the water to the west of Hong Kong is influenced by the Pearl River. 1,103 kilometers of mass, Hong Kong is largely held over 1,000 islands, as you can see in this picture.
Dele el toque FAMSA a su hogar.
En el Festival del Mueble FAMSA, directo de nuestras fábricas. Mucho que ver, mucho que ahorrar.
Auténtico 10% de descuento en todos los muebles. A crédito y de contado.
Cero enganche.
Y 18 meses sin intereses.
Y en electrónica tenemos para usted reproductor de DVD Daewoo multiregión. Lléveselo solo 575 o con un abono semanal congelando de 14 pesitos.
Venga el ahorro.
Venga al Festival del Mueble FAMSA.
Ahora la blancura de ACE beca a tus hijos. Dentro de los empaques de ACE podrás encontrar cupones ganadores con becas de hasta 50,000 pesos. ACE, blancos brillantes para un futuro brillante.
Welcome back. Now some news. Thank you for your waiting time. We will see now the biggest and most tallest mountain in Hong Kong, the Tai Mo Shan. It's 1957 meters old. Hong Kong is just beautiful. It has a lot of things to do there, and it's a very fun city. But the best time to travel there is in late autumn, from October to around Christmas time, when Hong Kong weather is relatively more pleasant. The mild climate of Hong Kong makes it a year-round travel destination. However, there are tropical cyclones and occasionally squally thunderstorms between May and November, and the typhoons in September. You gotta have that in mind if you want to visit. Should you happen to visit Hong Kong at the typhoon season, you should not venture out too far when the typhoon warning is on level 3 or less, but stay indoors when it is higher. All shops and banks are closed when a level 8 typhoon warning is given. This website documents basic information on more than 1,000 animal species, including over 2,030 species of butterflies, 120 species of dragonflies, 200 species of freshwater fish, etc. Hong Kong is famous for towering skyscrapers. Did you know 40% of the territory is made up of country park and nature reserves? Hiking the Green Trail is his favorite weekend pastime. You probably know that Hong Kong means fragrant harbor in Chinese. What about Kowloon? Every time you utter the word Kowloon, you're saying 9 dragons. Folklore tells us that a young emperor noticed the area's 8 hills and named the land 8 dragons. Later, a servant reminder of the emperor, he too is a dragon. This made 9. Ko sounds like wow, or 9 in Cantonese, and Loon is long or dragon. The politics in Hong Kong take place in a framework of a political system dominated by its quasi-constitutional document. The Hong Kong Basic Law is on the legislature, the chief executive as the head of government and of the special administrative region, and of a multi-party system. Executive power is exercised by the government. All values in Hong Kong, unless otherwise stated, are in US dollars. According to the Index of Economic Freedom, Hong Kong has had the highest degree of economic freedom in the world since the inception of the index in 1995. Its economy is governed under positive non-interventionism and is highly dependent on the international trade and finance. For this reason, it is regarded as the most favorable place to start a company. In fact, a recent study shows that Hong Kong has come over 998 registered startups in 2014 to over 2,800 in 2018. Now, we are going to talk about a Hong Kong culture. But before that, we're going to have some commercials. Now we're back. We're going to talk about Hong Kong culture. Hong Kong culture was born in a sophisticated fusion of East and West. It not only kept many Chinese traditions but also experienced a baptism of Western culture. This situation led to the diversity of its culture, and the people there are open-minded to accept variety. To have a better understanding of its cultural phenomenon, you can give a research on the following aspects. Food. As a culinary capital of Asia, Hong Kong boasts various delicacies in the local or from overseas. The city is influenced by Western countries, and some of the foods there combine the flavors of Chinese cuisine and Western cuisine. Holidays. Lan Kwai Fong on Christmas Day. Lan Kwai Fong on Christmas Day. In the city, people celebrate the Chinese traditional holidays, such as Chinese Lunar New Year, Qingming Festival, and Mid-Autumn Festival. And also they have a holiday on Good Friday, Easter Monday, Christmas Day, and other Western festivals. Taoism, Buddhism, Christianism, Islam, and other religious beliefs exist in the region, especially Buddhism and Taoism. Temples are very common there. The Taoist concept of feng shui, or wind and water, is believed by many locals. It is a 3,000 years old system of geomantic divination teaching humans how to achieve harmony with the forces of nature and change. Now we are going to talk about the sports in Hong Kong. Sports in Hong Kong are a significant part of its culture, believe it or not. Due to British influence going as far back as the 19th century, Hong Kong had an early introduction to the Western Atlantic compared to other Asia regions. Horse racing was most spectators, while football, basketball, swimming, badminton, table tennis, cycling, and running have the most participants. Golf is an increasingly popular sport, despite relatively few numbers of courses in the city. In 2009, Hong Kong successfully organized the V-East Asian Games, and it was the biggest sporting event ever held in the territory. Other major international sporting events, including the Equestrian Summer Olympics or the Hong Kong Upper Golf Championship, Hong Kong Sevens, Hong Kong Marathon, etc., etc. The athletes of that specific place, that specific sport, have improved in worldwide rankings. As of 2010, there are 32 Hong Kong athletes from 7 sports ranking in the world's top 20. 29 athletes in 6 sports in Asia, top 10 ranking. Moreover, Hong Kong is equally impressive performance of athletes with disabilities in 2009, having won 4 World Championships and 2 Asian Championships.
¿En tu pasado existió el amor y ahora lo has perdido? Nuestras adivinas del amor te orientarán a resolver tus problemas. ¿Tu vida sentimental ya no es igual? Deja que nuestras adivinas te ayuden a que el amor regrese. Llámanos 01900 849 8833. Nuestras adivinas te están esperando.
Ponle lo divertido, es puro tomate, lo que a ti te late. Aprieta, exprime, apachurra, ponle lo divertido. Es catsup de la costeña, es puro tomate.
Colitas presenta 3 veces al día con Colgate.
Después de desayunar, chiqui, 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 chiqui. Cuando acabes de almorzar, chiqui, 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 chiqui. Antes de irte a acostar, deberás cepillar muy bien tus dientes. Chiqui, 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 con crema dental. Chiqui, 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 chiqui. Te lo recomienda Colgate.
Colgate, la marca número 1 recomendada por odontólogos.
But why is Hong Kong having a trouble now? After several weeks of pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong, the unrest shows no sign of stopping. The process began over plans, later put on ice, that would have allowed extradition from Hong Kong to mainland China, but they've now spread to reflect wider demands for democratic reform. This is not all happening in a vacuum. There is a lot of important context. Some of it is stretching back decades that help explain what is going on. Hong Kong has a special status. It's important to remember that Hong Kong is significantly different from the other Chinese cities. To understand this, you need to look at its history. Hong Kong was a British colony for more than 150 years. Part of it, Hong Kong Island, was ceded to the UK after a war in 1842. Later, China also leased the rest of Hong Kong, the new territories, to the British for 90 years. It became a busy trading port, and its economy took off in the 1950s, more or less. It became a manufacturing hub. The territory was also popular with migrants and dissidents fleeing instability, poverty, and persecution in mainland China. Young, radical, and ready for tear gas were traits involving Hong Kong attacks. Read more about Hong Kong's history, really, it's very interesting. Then, in the early 1980s, as the deadline for the 99-year lease approached, Britain and China began talks on the future of Hong Kong, with the communist government in China arguing that all of Hong Kong should be returned to Chinese rule. The two sides reached a deal in 1984 that will see Hong Kong return to China in 1997, under the principle of one country, two systems. This meant that while becoming a part of the country with China, Hong Kong will enjoy a high degree of autonomy except in foreign and defense affairs for 50 years. As a result, Hong Kong has its own legal systems and borders, and rights including freedom of assembly and free speech are protected. For example, it is one of the few places in China territory where people can commemorate the 1989 Tiananmen Square crackdown, where the military opened fire on unarmed protests in Beijing. Right now, there are happening a lot of peaceful protests, but China just ignores them. Thank you so much for your attention. We really like you on our show.